Hello friends, welcome back. This is the second lecture on helical gears. In this lecture, we will discuss the force analysis of helical gears and one numerical on a force analysis. This numerical is asked for 5 to 6 marks. Force analysis. Everyone carefully observe this sketch. In this sketch, we consider a pitch cylinder, and on the pitch cylinder we consider a center line of teeth. On the center line we consider a point C. On that point the resultant force capital P is acting on the tooth of a helical gears. This resultant force P is resolved into three components that is clearly shown in this sketch, that PT, PR and PA. PT, tangential component, is in Newton. PR, radial component, is in Newton, and PA, axial or thrust component, is in Newton. In this sketch, the normal pressure angle alpha suffix n is in the plane ABC, and that plane ABC is shaded by the dots, while the helix angle psi is in the lower plane BCD. Now these observe these three figures carefully: figure A, figure B, figure C. Figure B and figure C, we consider the normal pressure angle with a respected plane and the helix angle with a respected plane. Now from figure B, we consider a triangle ACB. From this triangle we consider a sine alpha suffix n. Sine alpha suffix n, that is the front side to the hypotenuse. Front side is the radial component PR and hypotenuse is P. That sine alpha suffix n is equal to PR divided by P. Simplify that and we get a radial component. Radial component PR is equal to P into sine alpha suffix n. Consider equation A. Again from figure B, we consider cos alpha suffix n. Cos alpha suffix n, adjacent side to the hypotenuse. Adjacent side is BC and hypotenuse is resultant force P. Therefore cos alpha suffix n is equal to BC divided by P, capital P. Simplify this and we get a value of BC. BC is equal to P into cos alpha suffix n. Consider equation B. Now consider figure C. In figure C we consider a triangle BCD. From this triangle we consider sin psi. Sin psi, front side to the hypotenuse. Front side is axial component PA and the hypotenuse is BC. Therefore sin psi is equal to PA divided by BC. Simplify this and we get a value of that axial component PA is equal to BC into sin psi. Here from equation B we substitute the value of BC and we get the axial component PA is equal to P into cos alpha suffix n into sin psi. Consider equation C. From figure C we consider cos psi. Cos psi, that is equal to adjacent side to the hypotenuse. Adjacent side is tangential component PT and the hypotenuse is BC. Therefore cos psi is equal to PT divided by BC, and after simplification we get the value of tangential component PT is equal to BC into cos psi. Again we substitute the value of BC from equation B and we get a tangential component PT is equal to P cos alpha suffix n into cos psi. Consider equation D. These four equations are very important. Dividing equation C and D, we consider the left hand side, axial force divided by tangential force is equal to right hand side P cos alpha suffix n into sin psi divided by P cos alpha suffix n into cos psi. P cos alpha suffix n and P cos alpha suffix n get cancelled, and therefore the axial component is equal to tangential force Pt into tan psi. That sin psi divided by cos psi, that is tan psi, and therefore the axial component Pt into tan psi. Consider equation 1. Again, dividing equation A and D. Left hand side, radial component divided by tangential component Pt divided by Pr is equal to right hand side P sin alpha suffix n divided by P cos alpha suffix n into cos psi. Pp get cancelled. Sin alpha suffix n divided by cos alpha suffix n, that is tan alpha suffix n, and therefore the radial component Pt is equal to the radial component Pr is equal to Pt inside the bracket tan alpha suffix n divided by cos psi. Consider equation 2. The tangential component is calculated from the relation. That relation is already knowing to you, that that relation is we already discussed in a spur gear. Okay, now from the definition of torque, that is tangential force into the radius, and therefore that tangential force 2 times torque divided by pitch circle diameter. Therefore that Pt is equal to 2 suffix t divided by d. Suffix t, that is the torque transmitted by gears, that is in Newton millimeter, and d is the pitch circle diameter. Now remember one thing, when we do the force analysis of any type of gear, that two things is very important in force analysis. First thing, find out the component of resultant tooth force. This is the first thing. And second thing, direction of these components. Direction of these components. Okay. Now the magnitude is knowing to you. Here using these 4 equations, we get the magnitude of the tangential, radial and axial force. Okay. Now then the next parameter in force analysis, direction. The direction of these 3 components. How to decide the direction of these 3 components? 3 components means first component is tangential component, second is the radial, and third one is the axial. We already discussed the how to decide the direction of tangential and radial component in case of a spur gear. In similar way, the direction in case of helical gear, the direction of tangential component, radial component should be considered. Okay. Now the first component is tangential component. In tangential component, first point, the direction of tangential component for a driving gear is opposite to the direction of rotation, and second point in a tangential component, the tangential component of a driven gear is same in the direction of rotation. Remember that. Okay, for a driver, a tangential component for a driver opposite in the direction of rotation, and for a driven same in the direction of rotation. Okay. Second component, radial component. Now the radial component is always directed towards the center of gear. We consider a pinion, that radial component is always act toward the center of pinion. We consider a gear, that radial component is always act toward the center of gear. Now in this force in the force analysis of helical gear, this third component is very important. How to decide the direction of thrust component? Okay. Now for deciding the thrust component, follow the following 4 guidelines. First, number 1, select a driving gear from the pair. Either it is a pinion or either it is a gear. Okay, we select a driving gear from the pair. Second guideline, use right hand for right hand helical teeth, or use left hand for left hand helical teeth. Okay. Number 3, keep all the fingers in the direction of rotation. Means we consider a pinion as a driver, and it is having a left-handed pinion, and it is rotating in a clockwise direction. After that, we keep all the fingers in the direction of rotation, and that thumb indicates the direction of thrust for the pinion if you consider it as a driver. Okay, and for a driven, that thrust component is opposite to the direction of driver. Okay, this is about the force analysis of helical gear. Now here we solve one numerical on a force analysis. This numerical is asked for 6 marks. Okay, now this is the problem statement. Everyone read this problem statement carefully and try to collect a given data. Read it. A pair of parallel helical gears consist of a left hand 20 teeth pinion meshing with 45 teeth gear. A 7.5 kilowatt power at 1800 rpm is supplied to the pinion. The normal module is 6 millimeter, face width is 60 millimeter, and the normal pressure angle is 20 degree. The helix angle is 25 degree. Both the gears are made up of steel having ultimate tensile strength of 660 and heat treated to 350 bhm. Determine the radial, tangential and axial component of the resultant tooth force. If the pinion is rotating in clockwise direction when viewed from right hand side, draw a free body diagram showing the forces acting on pinion and gear tooth. This is the problem statement. Now after that we solve this problem. First of all, we collect the given data. Number of teeth on a pinion Z suffix P is equal to 20. Number of teeth on a gear Z suffix G 45. Power kilowatt is equal to 7.5. Speed of pinion N suffix P is equal to 1800 rpm. Normal module M suffix N is equal to 6 millimeter. Face width B is equal to 60 millimeter. Normal pressure angle alpha suffix N is equal to 20. Helix angle psi is equal to 25 degree. SUT ultimate tensile strength of the material is 660, of the gear material is 660 Newton per mm square, and the hardness BHN 350. Now after collecting given data, when we solve a problem on spur or helical gear, first step in solving, we decide the weaker between pinion and gear. Now we already discussed in spur gear how to decide the weaker. If both the material is same, pinion should be weaker. That is the first case. Second case, if the material for pinion and gear is different, in that case what do you do? We find out the product between bending stress and Lewis form factor for pinion and gear, and lesser value is treated as a weaker. These are the two cases for deciding the weaker. Now in this case, both gear and pinion is made up of steel. When both the gears are made up of same material, in that case what do you do? How to decide the weaker? The pinion should be weaker. Okay, now the first step, deciding the weaker between pinion and gear. Since both the gears are made up of same material, the pinion is weaker than gear. Now we do the raw calculation in this step number first. After deciding the weaker, that calculation is needed in next steps. First of all, we find out the torque. Torque is knowing to you. How to find out the torque? Torque is denoted by letter M suffix T, and that is given by 16 to 10 to the power 6 kilowatt divided by 2 pi N suffix P. N suffix P, we use the speed of pinion. Why? Because pinion is weaker. That's why we use all the parameters of pinions here when we solve the problem. Okay, now 16 to 10 to the power 6 power a kilowatt that is 7.5 divided by 2 pi into speed is 1800 rpm. Simplify this and we get a torque 39.7887 into 10 to the power 3 Newton millimeter. Next, pitch circle diameter of pinion. Why we find out the pitch circle diameter of pinion? Because here pinion is weaker, that's why we know all the parameter of pinion. Now the pitch circle diameter of pinion, that denoted by letter D suffix P. We know the formula to get the pitch circle diameter of helical gear, Z suffix P into M suffix N divided by cos psi. Z suffix P number of teeth on pinion, M suffix N normal module divided by cos psi. Now substitute the values. 20 number of teeth into 6 normal module divided by cos 25. 25 is the helix angle. Simplify, we get the pitch circle diameter of pinion 132.4053 millimeter. This is the first step. Now move toward the second step. Step number 2, tangential component. Now everyone knowing how to find out the tangential component, that PT is equal to 2 times torque divided by pitch circle diameter of pinion. Pinion is weaker, that's why we use the parameter of pinion here. If the gear is weaker, we use the parameter of gear, that is d suffix g. Okay, remember this. Tangential component PT is equal to 2 into m suffix t divided by pitch circle diameter of pinion. Now we know the torque and the pitch circle diameter, substitute the values in that relation, and we get a tangential component PT is equal to 601.0137 Newton. Now the next component, step number 3, axial component P suffix A. Axial component is found by using the relation axial component P suffix A is equal to PT into tan psi. Now we know the value of PT and also the psi. PT is 601.0137 into tan 25 degree. Helix angle is 25 degree. Simplify this. Axial component is 280.2573 Newton. Step number 4, radial component PR. Radial component, it is given by PR is equal to PT into inside the bracket tan alpha suffix n divided by cos psi. Now substitute the values. PT 601.0137 inside the bracket tan alpha suffix n, alpha normal pressure angle, tan 20 divided by cos psi. Psi is the helix angle, cos 25 degree. Simplify and we get a radial component 241.3651 Newton. This is the 3 component of resultant tooth force, that is tangential PT, axial PA and radial PR. After that, free body diagram. Step number 5, free body diagram. When we draw free body diagram, first of all, draw the conventional representation of a helical gear pier. Now see the left hand side, this is the conventional representation of a helical gear, P for pinion, G for gear. Pinion is in this problem, pinion is mentioned that it is a left hand pinion. Means how to represent the left hand or how to show the hands of helix or direction of tooth in convention representation. For representing the helix angle or the direction of tooth, we use a 3 thin continuous line. When these lines sloping upward to the right side, it is for the left hand helical teeth, and that 3 thin lines sloping downward to the right side for the right hand helical gear. Now see, pinion is a left hand and gear is a right hand. After that, we draw the 2 views, pinion and gear. Here in problem clearly mentioned pinion is rotating in a clockwise direction, that's why the gear is rotating opposite direction, means anti-clockwise direction. Then we show the tangential, radial and axial component on this drawing. Tangential and radial, how to show the tangential? Tangential component is opposite to the direction of rotation. Here we consider pinion is the driver and pinion rotate in clockwise direction, that's why the tangential component is always act opposite to the direction of rotation in case of a pinion, and in case of a gear, that tangential component is same in the direction of rotation. That is clearly shown in this free body diagram. Radial component, second component is the radial component. Radial component is knowing to you how to decide the direction of radial component. Radial component is always directed toward the center of gear. Now that is clearly shown on a pinion and gear. Now third one is very important, thrust. How to show the thrust? That is shown in a side view. Here we consider the pinion as a driver. We select a pinion as a driver. It is a left hand pinion, that's why we use a left hand, and all the fingers we keep in the direction of rotation. It is rotate in a clockwise direction. Okay, it is rotate in a clockwise direction, and the thumb indicate the thrust. That thumb indicate the thrust, and that is clearly shown for the pinion. And for the gear, that thrust force is opposite to the driver. That is clearly shown on this free body diagram. This is the complete numerical on a force analysis. Remember that this numerical is asked for 6 marks. Okay, if you have any query, ask at any time for me. Okay, thanking you.